Kim here from CustomDollBaby.com. Today we're working on something very fun and different. We're doing some sculpting. There's been a tradition for a while in the Reborn community of using polymer clay to make minor modifications to vinyl doll sculpts to create unique, fun, and sometimes fantasy looks on their dolls. Today we have two dolls that need very minor modifications that we'll be sculpting in polymer clay on top of the vinyl doll kit. Now there's three issues with sculpting or with combining clay with vinyl. The first issue is that vinyl is very elastic, it's squishy. Clay is hard, so when you put a hard material on elastic material, every time that elastic material bends, it's going to lose its connection to the material that is hard. So that's something to keep in mind as we're doing our modifications. The second thing that you have to keep in mind is the temperature at which the clay is going to set. So there are some clays out there in the market that have to be heated to 280 Fahrenheit, 285, very hot temperatures at which your vinyl will melt. So make sure that you have a clay with a relatively low curing temperature so that you don't endanger the doll sculpt as you go. Okay, is there a third issue? I guess not. So here is the way that we're going to work around these limitations. The first thing that we're going to do to improve adhesion is we're going to roughen the surface. So we're actually going to use sandpaper or buffing material to roughen the surface of the vinyl that we want to add the clay to in order to improve the adhesion of the clay to the vinyl. We're also going to create a mechanical lock between the clay and the vinyl by boring a hole under where our clay piece is going to be so we can lock it from the inside. So that way if the vinyl is bent, it's still going to be locked onto the piece. It's not going to break right off. The third thing that we're going to do is we're going to reinforce the vinyl. So since it's the elasticity that causes the clay to lose its connection to the vinyl, we're going to make the vinyl less elastic by coating the inside with a harder material so that the vinyl is less likely to bend, less likely to break our clay parts. So, sounds like fun. Let's beat the babies. So the two doll kits that we will be modifying today are Caleb and a Freckles by the Secrist Doll Company or the Apple Valley Doll Works. The Caleb doll, both dolls are actually named Scarlet. Scarlet spelled with an E on the end and Scarlet without the E. So our first Scarlet doll is at 25 weeks gestation. Unfortunately, she is no longer with us. The Caleb doll kit is very good for a doll of this size because he has the right body proportions, he has the right length, and his arms are nice and skinny, as you would expect him to be. The problem with the Caleb kit, however, is that he has a fully developed face, which for most mommies is okay, but for this one, she wanted it to look a lot more like her actual baby, so we'll be making modifications to the face to give him more of that 25 weeks look. Our other Scarlet, this is going to be an 18-inch girlfriend's doll, so she's going to be compatible with American Girl and our generation, all those look-alike 18-inch doll accessories, and she only needs teeth. So we're going to fill in these front two teeth so she looks more like the baby in the picture, and then we'll be ready to roll. So let's go ahead and start making our modification. So the hole that I drilled in the Freckles kit didn't come out quite as well as I would like for it to. So we're going to clean it up a little bit using a spring drill. And you can actually use this to make your holes to begin with. I get mine from little-windows.com. It's also where I get my resin, which you'll see more about that in the Reborn with Me series as we wrap up the Asher Wake. So it comes with 3 different drill bits. I'm going to get the biggest one and secure it into the vise here. Nice and tight, and this is a similar vise to what's in your mushroom rooting tool if you use that. And I'm going to pick a spot. Actually, I want to be closer to the middle if I have a choice. You might want to start it out by hand like we were doing with the Dremel, just to give yourself a spot to hold on to. But there's nothing electronic about this. This is all going to be elbow grease. Okay, I'm going to line it up and push down on the handle to turn the drill. So that went through very quickly. And it's dirty. Good thing we're going to be covering it. Just use my hand to clean it out a little bit. Just make it a little bit bigger because I need to force a piece of clay through it. Alright, that also gives us some surface roughening as well. So again, we're going to take a small, well-mixed piece of clay and force it down into the hole we just made. All the way in and out the other side. If it's helpful to use some sort of tool to force it in, you can feel free to do that as well. And we're going to remove the excess. Okay, and there's a little bit of grease on that drill bit, so I'm going to get a new piece of clay and I'm going to go wash my hands again because we don't want to transfer this to the doll. So the real baby, I believe, is 4, and she's got the most adorable 2 teeth in the front, so we're going to recreate those in the clay on her portrait doll. So I took that dirty, greasy clay and used it to create my mechanical lock in the back. So now I have clay on the front and clay on the inside that joined to each other are gonna hold the teeth in place. And now I'm just making a smooth layer where that gap was, and I'm gonna build my teeth on top of that.